What if someone you lost who had died returned? This episode of AfterBuzz TV is brought to you by the powerful and riveting new drama, Resurrection. You won't be able to stop watching or talking about it. Resurrection premiering on Sunday night, March 9th at 9/8 Central, only on ABC. You're not going to want to miss it.
Mr. Langston, did your son go missing, sir? I haven't. He's okay.
My son died 32 years ago.
What if someone you lost returned?
Daddy!
Honey, who is it?
Jacob. I'm coming home.
The television series event begins.
You're not the only one, there's others.
Tell the world.
Resurrection. Series premieres Sunday, March 9th on ABC.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show.
Hey, that baby don't look like me.
That's mean.
That baby don't.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Are you guys Rihanna and Eminem right now? Is that what's going on?
Why you wanna lie on me? They call this son a little short, but I
can't. Hey.
Too short. Where's Cory when you need him? Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for the Real World Explosion. The episode title is called The Test. I'm joined in studio with Nicollette, Gaona.
I'm back, y'all. So happy to be back with the panel.
Are you so happy to be back?
I'm so happy.
Roxy Striar is so over us.
My arch nemesis over there. Yeah, hi guys. No, I'm happy to be here. I love everybody.
And in studio, the one, the only, Sir Brian T. Williams Jr.
T. Williams in the building.
I'm in the building.
T. Williams.
I just got out here. Just got out to
You just drove cross country.
Yeah.
He drove out like this.
Got here Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
Well,
happy to have you.
You liking LA?
I don't like the traffic very much.
Don't we all? Don't.
It's so weird. I love it.
Oh my God, really?
No kidding, huh?
What was it like watching yourself on tonight's episode?
It was nerve-wracking.
Awkward.
I got lots to own up to tonight. You see?
I was wishing you were here next week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shoot.
We might have to have you come back around.
Come back. Ready for more? It's entertaining. That's for sure.
What does he say? Be like, Brian, you got a lot of splaining to do next week.
You got a lot of splaining to do.
We'll see.
All right, but before we get into the episode, I actually want to talk to you guys a little more about this amazing TV show we keep talking about. You guys might have heard it at the top of the show, but we wanted to give you just a little more info.
Let's hear.
Okay, so exactly. You imagine if you knew someone who had died, whether it was a grandmother or a father or a mom, whoever, and then all of a sudden they returned. Doesn't that sound interesting?
I could not imagine if my grandmother or grandfather popped up on my doorstep like.
Well, that is exactly what's happening in a small town called Arcadia, Missouri, on ABC's new drama called Resurrection. Residents of the town who have passed away are now coming back.
Yeah, it starts with 8-year-old Jacob, who died 32 years ago and shows up on his parents' doorstep.
Oh, no.
At the age of 8. He's still 8 years old.
Okay, that is crazy, and it sounds like a really fun premise for a show. And of course, the mystery just deepens as more and more people just start returning.
And just watching the previews, it makes me ask so many questions like, who are these people? How do they fit in? Like, where are they going to go with this story?
Right, it's exactly the kind of TV show that lends itself for water cooler talk, and everyone will have their own theories about the show.
And I love that it's a new theme. It's new. You don't really know where the story can go. It's not about zombies or aliens.
I'm so sick of that.
Apocalypse.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so when does it premiere? When can I find it?
Well, it's going to premiere Sunday, March 9th at 9/8 Central, only on ABC. Once again, that's ABC's Resurrection, premiering Sunday, March 9th at 9/8 Central.
I know I'll be there.
We'll be too. And you AfterBuzzers should check us out too. And now let's get back into the episode.
Let's do it, shall we?
Oh, there was so much tea. The test. Well, poor Lauren, girl. Well, we started off with you, Brian. Let's talk about you, Brian. Started off with you. You don't want to take a shower with Jenny. You got a chastity on your dick. What's going on with that, sir?
I'm not trying to jump back into the emotions, you know. You see what happened previous to me getting there. That's
right.
You don't want cooties.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Well, I mean, and you were doing some dirt too when you were gone, so I'm surprised that she, was all about it too. Because weren't you having relations with somebody else? Right.
Mine wasn't on TV though.
That is
So
true.
that's the difference. The difference is that she wanted you because she didn't have to watch what you were doing, but you didn't want her because you did have to see it.
Well, it started way back when.
Brian, do you want to pull out your thought record?
All the way. I'm gonna need this actually because when she first moved to Los Angeles, she was actually getting busy, so I had a hard time getting over that.
All right, so tell us the story.
By the time I got over it, I was flown out to LA to be cast for The Real World.
Right.
I didn't know I was being cast for The Real World. They were just interested in me, so I didn't know what the hell the deal was.
Wait, so what was that like? They called you and they said, we're MTV and we're interested in you. And you said, for what? And they said, just come here?
They've been interviewing me for a while.
Okay.
They had been Skype interviewing me for a while, and then all of a sudden they said, hey, come out to Los Angeles. We want you to take a psychological analysis to see if you're fit for it and you're not going to go crazy and kill your family or something like that. So
glad you passed that test.
Right? So,
or maybe he didn't pass and that's why he's on the show. Seems like all the crazy people go on the show.
They're looking for that range, that gray area, that median.
Yeah.
They're looking for somebody who's crazy enough to be on the show, that's for sure, but not too crazy. So
right,
exactly.
We ain't trying to get knocked out.
But wait, I want you to kind of clear up this area in time because when we first started watching the show, you made a phone call to Jenny and basically said to her, hey, I'm out here, I'm talking to this other girl, and I want to see, we've been together for so long, I want to see if there can be a connection between me and this girl.
Right.
What was that about? Where were you in that mindset? Why were you like, fuck Jenny, I'm not about that right now, and I want to test different waters?
I was really trying to move on because I knew that's what she was trying to do in Los Angeles, and by the time I got flown out
Los
to
Angeles
LA,
as in just
California?
No, meaning like when she moved or when she like went out when you thought she did The Real World, or this was before The Real World?
This is before The Real World when she originally moved out to Los Angeles, which is in like February of that last year, and then when they really started casting her for The Real World was in March, and that's when they flew me out in like a week before they actually said she was going to be on the show. And we spent a whole week together rekindling. And before that, like a week before or a month before that, I had met another girl and I was really trying to open myself up. I had kind of shut myself down after the relationship. I was trying to get over it and find out who I was. I got ready for a fitness competition. I ended up becoming a professional. So I won the show and I was in a new place and I was trying to move forward. So.
And how did that work out?
It was working out fine until I went out to Los Angeles.
Oh,
you
God.
know,
got on
because
the
Jenny,
show.
I love her. I love her to death. That's my girl.
It's like when she's out of sight, out of mind, but when you're with her, you can't ignore the fact that you love her.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was trying to move on, and it was out of sight, out of mind, and it wasn't helpful. I didn't know what to do. I was very intimidated by the rate in which she was able to move on herself. Like, she had all these experiences. I was like, I need to get mine, too. I need to experience
You need to grow.
a little bit. I don't know if I'm ready to jump into a relationship with this new girl or not. I was just feeling her out. I don't even know exactly what it is I want because she was a bad girl. This new girl was just too good and boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
I wasn't getting exciting
Like
with
Jenny
it.
is very
If Jenny had
exciting.
been hung up on you still, though, would you have been as interested in getting back with her? You know, she was moving on and that kind of shocked you, but had she been hanging all over you, would that have been something you were even interested in still pursuing?
I'm a guy. It may have pushed me in the opposite direction. It's kind of like you want what you can't have. You be real with it. It's a game, between the relationship. So,
and we kind of see that between you and Jenny, like the little games that go on. It's like, well, you did this. You kicked me in the knee. I'm
You
going to
guys
kick
like
you in
to
your. I'm
get
going to step on
even.
your toe.
Oh yeah.
You guys love to get
God.
even.
Has
with
that
each
always
other.
been like that since the beginning, or is
Yeah.
that something that kind of grew as it was like, bitch, you want to put this thought record in my face? Well, I'm gonna
The thought records.
I'm gonna give you my thought record.
I'm gonna
book.
hold on to that for a minute. You better watch out.
How do you feel about these thought records, too? I mean, I can't with the thought records.
I love it.
You guys love the thought records.
I think a thought record is basically documenting and filing your thoughts, so that way you can come back to them. and really understand the emotion behind it, so you can construct something new, a new path, and get forward, because we kept on getting stuck. Honestly, we were stuck in this loop.
And it worked for you?
And it helps. It can, you know, in the moment, it's difficult to sit there and subject yourself to that thought record. You know, I can't think. I'm upset. I'm frustrated.
I need y'all's opinion on this. Okay, because when I first, like, when you guys are, like, 5th anniversary, when really, like, it's not, like, a full, like, you guys have not been together for a full year. You guys have, like, messed around and, like, met up with other people, yada, yada, yada. How does it count for a 5th anniversary? Like, if you can't make it through the 2nd anniversary, what? You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, all right, we kind of did it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
No, I get that.
I get it.
Honestly, I've been there before, too, and it's like, oh, we've been together for 8 years. I've seen 15 other people, but, like, this is the 8th year that I've been going back to you.
But at the end of the day, it's always been you.
Yeah, but
like
it's been you. I get that. I do get that. And you guys weren't fronting. You weren't like, it's been 5 years, and we're going strong, and we haven't seen anybody else. They both were like, it's been 4 or 5 years, I guess, and kind of off again, but... I thought that was fine, yeah.
That's why I was kind of hesitant to answer that question. I don't know if it's officially 5 years. It's been 4 years, you know, complete, I think. I think we've taken about a year off, so.
Yeah.
So what were the conversations like for you? Because obviously we see again tonight, you know, you kind of have this wall up with Jenny. What was it like? I mean, you're living in the house with Cory. This man had your girlfriend. How do you live in this house without wanting to kill this man? How do you live in this house when you guys had guys' night? He's friends with all of the guys. You came into this friendship. What was it like for you being the only outside guy to come into the house?
I already knew it was going to be a mess coming into it, so I just thought in my head there has to be strategy involved with this. I'm not going to be friends with everyone. I don't know how our relationship's going to go living in a house with one another. You know, I don't know exactly what Jenny's attitude is going to be like, me coming into the house. So I attached myself to the people I felt like I was going to have a connection with, and tried to work on Jenny and I's relationship, first and foremost. And then once I was able to establish some kind of foundation there, then I moved on, and I was like, okay, what can I do with the rest of the crew? What's up with the guys? You know.
But what was the conversation with you and Jenny to kind of, you know, smooth over the situation with Cory for you? That what was it that, because we saw you kind of talk to Cory, and it was kind of just like a, all right, yeah, I won't beat your ass, yeah, I won't beat your ass either, like, all right, cool, and you guys kind of separated. But with Jenny, what was the conversation that made you feel confident and comfortable enough to be in the house? Like, okay, she is with me, she's not gonna mess with him no more. Like, what was that moment?
I seen them go in the foyer, and they had a conversation, and Jenny came back to me, and she was like, you know, we're gonna work on things. I figured Lo was there, she was gonna work on things with Cory, so it was just a definite. And I figured, you know, the political setup where Jenny and Cory are still together with me and Lo, Cory has something to be taken advantage of. Say me and Lo start to hook up or something like that. And there's a vulnerable area for Jenny and Cory, right? So, I mean, it's just an easier separation. It's not that's what we wanted to do, but if things get tough, you know, tough gets going.
Yeah, but last week you go into her bed and you are kind of spilling your guts to her, like you're being really honest and open, and she responds to you and she says, well, thanks for talking to me. You know, she doesn't really give you what I was assuming you would want, which was the reassurance. Is that like some kind of game you guys play? You just can't give it to one another too quickly? Or, you know, why wouldn't she just say, listen, I'm done with Cory. I have no interest in him. All I want is you. And if you want me to say that to you every day for the rest of my life, I will, because I don't care. Like, I want you.
Right. Honestly, real talk, I had so much pressure to look out for myself and see the things that had been going wrong in Jenny and I's relationship in the prior and figure out if that's what I wanted or not, to work on it. So it was open and up in the air. I needed my a little bit of space, and having space in that environment it's difficult to get. So I almost set that up as a play of manipulation. You know, I was like, hey, I'm gonna kind of push you away for these reasons a little bit, and then it's time for me to go out and do my thing and figure out whether it's gonna work between us or not.
And have we figured that out at this point?
At this point today, yes, we have figured that out.
I mean, I love you guys. Really, it's funny how you guys actually work. I mean, and I can totally see it now. Jenny kind of holds the more like craziness role. Like you're actually really laid back. Mm-hmm. And you kind of like when you watch the show, you seem like you're a little bit more like dominant, very more aggressive. When really you're just like kind of chill and like okay, whatever. But like you still don't have a good time. It kind of evens you guys out a little bit.
Exactly.
Because if you both were like really crazy, it would just be like what?
I know,
you kind of
right?
like level her out a little bit.
That's very
and
true.
And that's where it works. And
that's where I find myself coming back because I'm highly entertained with Jenny. She's
right. I mean,
awesome.
it's always
so
something new.
I mean, it was even down to like we see you guys the burrito thing. She's dragging you over with the burritos. You guys are wearing this. I'm assuming you guys went to work out in the same colors. Was that a thing?
That was actually.
No, that was the night that they both went out.
Yeah, they went out.
That was the night
she was
that we
wearing
both
the
went out.
shorts.
And he did something
it was just
real
all
bad.
red, and I was like, wait,
That's
what is
true.
this? Is this the challenge?
Actually, that became, those are our house clothes, workout clothes, house clothes. Mm-hmm. Just chilling in the house. Yeah, we get home, we throw them on, and we start to get rid of our hangover with something to eat.
Well, so you guys go on the dinner, and Jenny finds a hot dog in your purse, girl. Like,
oh yeah, that's on the level of your vagina hitting the dance floor.
And I can understand like the car. I mean,
the car, yeah.
But your purse, girl.
What's the weirdest thing you found in Jenny's purse before, other than a hot dog?
I think it's a hot dog.
That is
What's
the weirdest
weirder than a hot
thing.
dog?
Absolutely. That's the weirdest thing I've ever found in a purse.
All right. So then you guys go out for your anniversary. She talks about the future where she says she wants to have 2 to 3 kids, and she sees you working, and she'll be at home making salads. Is that kind of?
That's a lot of pressure, girl.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure. But seriously, how do you feel about that? When she says things like that, are you thinking, wow, that sounds like how I want my life to be? Or are you thinking, oh, I feel a little choked up?
It's a little choked up because all the pressure, the expectations that are placed on me. But at the same time, I'm happy because that's the same thing that I want. I mean,
right.
You are scared to say it a little bit.
Going towards family. Well, what's really on my mind during that anniversary dinner, I'm thinking, wow, this is the 5-year mark. And we're on the real world. Look at all the stuff that's happening.
Your life has changed so much.
Am I going to be like, I'm not 100% there and settled in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're still young, too.
On the fence,
Well, and I'm sure it was all a rush, just like everything that happened back to back. Okay, now you're here. You thought she was going to be on it. Now you both are on it. Now you guys both are having to grow with this situation, and you really had no other choice but to kind of work things out.
I'm trying to find the best way to do it in-house, living with her. Because it's not like I can do it separated.
Right. And she had relationships with some other guys, so you guys are like, woo.
And I live with, so it's like a affirmation on hand. Every day I wake up, I see this kid, and I'm like, how do I have
just clutching your rosaries, like,
process it.
Yoga.
Logical,
Right.
Don't get irrational.
So then you guys go back home and you make brownies, and we find out that when you guys make brownies, you make
Let's get it on.
And it puts you in a happy place.
You know.
Sorry. So is that true? Is that what you guys did?
You just totally were so much better than me.
I could never go that high if I'm.
That's really good.
So brownies, what is this? When did this start? 5 years ago?
They didn't even show our meal or dinner at the place.
Yeah, no, they don't give you guys nice moments.
Oh my God!
It's just how MTV
was it?
The best ever.
But it's like that the way to your heart.
Did your brownies burn
mignon.
because you guys had ran to the bedroom, or?
They almost got burned. Yeah, we was distracted. That happens all the time, man. We were ADHD like just all over the place.
Is it fair to say that you were having sex then, though? That you said you hadn't had sex since you've been back in the place, in the house, but now you're having sex? That was you guys having sex?
I'm pretty sure we had sex before that actual moment. That wasn't the first time. But
that wasn't the popping of her cherry?
No, it wasn't the popping of a cherry. We warmed it up a bit.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Foreplay in the foyer.
Before we get into the rest of the episode, I want to talk to you about the beach situation. You were there posing, and we find out that you are a professional model.
Can we get a pose?
Muscle model?
Let's get a pose.
What's the correct term for this? A professional...
Is that good enough? That's good. A little bicep.
That's good.
So tell us about this. How did you get involved?
Me too.
Why is fitness so important to you? Has it always been important to you? Did you always know you wanted to get into fitness modeling?
Yeah. Ever since I was 17 years old. In high school, I was kind of a bad kid. So
Mind you, you're 27 now?
27. So this is 10 years later. I got into fitness when I was 17 years old. In high school, I just had bad direction. I was doing the wrong things that led me down a negative path and found myself at bottom. And I had to do whatever I could to pull it together and graduate high school and move on in new and better directions. And fitness absolutely helped me with that. My dad kind of took me underneath his wing. He's a big dude. He's like 6'3". He was a Green Beret in the military and, you know, football or a basketball star in high school and everything. So he was like, son, you know, I'm gonna help you out. We didn't have a close relationship, and it kind of pulled us together a little bit, you know.
So as you're like around 17 is when he came in, kind of helped you with that?
He's always been around, but not. It wasn't an experience like that where we was like going hard at working out and getting to know one another. It was just kind of like every other weekend type thing. Hey, what's up? Every once in a while we would get close, but that moment in time, we took a whole year to really get to know one another. My dad, you know, he stopped drinking for like a whole year just to focus on me, and that really meant a lot. That actually did a lot for me, and from there on, I took fitness and made it into a business. You know, I was like, what do I want to be, a bodybuilder or a fitness model? Bodybuilding is just completely unrealistic, honestly, because of the size that you have to gain and lifestyle. I learned that real quick. So
and that's just so intense. It's like, whoa there.
Yeah.
We see you have muscles.
So
we don't want you to pop them out. Okay?
like veins, muscles through the neck.
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
killing it.
So
boy.
intense. Like,
well, okay, so you, I mean, talking to you, you seem very level-headed. You got your stuff together. And then on the Real World, we get these pockets of, like, the Incredible Hulk. Like, you just turn. It's like a switch goes off, and you come out with these... It's like you think of, like, the deepest thing that could hurt Jenny, and you say it. And where does that come from? Now, I know Jenny instigates, too. She knows what buttons to press with you.
True.
But I feel like when Jenny does it, it's more on, and maybe this is totally wrong and because we don't know where she's pulling from, but I feel like when Jenny does it to you, it's kind of a more general around the topic of what you guys are arguing about. And then when you come in, it's this deep-rooted, like we're talking about the abortion, like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, It's just something so deep. Like, where does that come from? Why do you do that? Where does that stem from?
I think that it comes from years of knowing her, and just you start to categorize these different personality traits that she has.
Oh, what was
characteristics.
You've hopped on many dicks or something like that. Like, what was it? How
it was, and then you apologized last week. It was like everybody's taking a ride kind of thing. It wasn't the nicest thing that anybody's ever said to her, I'm sure. You apologized very quickly, but it wasn't quick enough. And things like that. And also just her being outside and dancing and you being like kind of embarrassed by her. It just seems to be an interesting relationship to me where she feels like she's being taken from 10 to a 6 and you feel like she's at a 20.
Right. That's common in our
and it's fine.
Since it is fine.
But where does it come from? Where is it something that she's helped you get over because you maybe used to be more like that? That the thought records now help you kind of figure out, you know what? I don't need to use this kind of language to her because she cares about me, so I don't need to say A, B, or C. Or is it just in the moment you get this anger, it fills up, and it's like, sorry.
It gets to that level. You know, I've used different strategies until it gets to that point. So I've tried 3 different other things and they haven't worked, and I finally get to that point where I have enough. I just can't take it anymore, and I'm blowing up. And I'm talking shit, talking about anything I can find. And I'm like, this has been sitting on my shoulders for this long. I'm gonna talk about that too. And it was my inability to control the environment at that time. Jenny's crazy. She's all humping me and everything and like, woo. And I'm all chilled out. And I'm like, you're bringing all this attention to me and it's just putting me on the spot. And I'm like, I'm not feeling that right now. But at this time in the moment, I like that about Jenny because it's entertainment, man. You know, I find myself being bored. I'm sitting here doing the regular old thing like an old man. I'm 27 years old. I'm hitting that point where it's like, that's not the cool thing to do anymore, hang out the clubs. But I get a second look at my youth through that. So I can appreciate it more than I did then. It was just it was all of the challenge that all of the attention gave me. You know, if Jenny's getting all this attention, I'm getting all this attention, they expect me to be at a certain energy level and I'm wanting to be chill. It's like, I'm not really in that mode tonight, baby. Can we hang out and just chill?
So now watching it back, Are there any moments that you look at and you're like, okay, I OD'd in that moment? Or are there some moments that you look at and you're like, I'm kind of not mad that I said that, like she asked for. You know what I mean? Like, what would you say that you look back at this and you're like, I wish I didn't go to that point?
Yeah, I wish I didn't go to that point within that situation because it makes no sense. I wish I was able to explain
when she was twerking out the club?
When she's twerking out the club, you know, and talking about everybody can have a ride. I'm hurting about that. You can probably tell. It's like, this is an emotional conversation right now.
Yeah.
You guys are putting me on the spot. It feels like I'm on the
trying
show
to work
again.
it out.
We're trying to get you to,
you know,
You're great. You're great.
We're your vocal thought record right here.
Right.
Oh, man.
And we had Jenny on last week, and we kind of grilled into her a little bit too, and you guys you're passing the test, okay? So don't stress about it. You guys do love each other. You have a lot of love for each other, and all couples get into these crazy big fights. So we're not judging. We're just airing it out.
Well, it's funny you brought up Tess because Lauren took one herself last week, and she found out that she is having a damn baby, and
it's not Corey.
It's not by him. It ain't a baby by me. Boop.
I thought the way they dropped that was so weird, you know? Like, they leave us on this cliffhanger, and then it doesn't come back, and it's like, is it mine? No, it wasn't the thing. It was just like, oh, it's somebody else's.
Let's just be real. That was not Corey's kid. They just had sex, and then she just was pregnant the next day. Like, bitch, we know that was not Corey's baby.
It was a week later, and we have all these people. I love you guys. You guys are amazing commenting. I love our fans, but we have all these people saying that's impossible. That is not impossible.
What is not impossible?
Do you have sex with somebody?
By Corey?
Yeah, by Corey. No. It was not impossible. If you have sex with somebody a week later, you absolutely can be pregnant. Trust me, it is not impossible.
So you get pregnant that night. Like if someone it happened that night.
The semen doesn't take a week to
I think it
attach
kind of like takes to go through the thing.
You gotta marinate it. No, you might not know.
Girl,
why? All right. Oh.
I'm just saying. I mean, I think it kind of takes a little time to get to the egg.
That bun starts. You ever been to Subway? You see they put that roll in 20 minutes later.
Do you have a maze inside of you? Because otherwise, a week later, you definitely can be pregnant.
Right, girl. Hence Plan B. You gotta take it the next day.
Well, actually,
Plan B obviously does not work.
No, absolute bullshit.
Lauren did not take no damn Plan B.
Plan B is literally like 99.9% effective, and the reason it's 0.1% not effective is because they have to have a little wiggle room for all the people who are lying about it. That's my opinion.
We had unprotected sex, but I don't know what went wrong. Bitch, you didn't wear a condom.
And
that's what went wrong.
And it happens.
You didn't take the Plan B.
Vitamin B and Plan B are not the same.
It doesn't just happen.
No. I'm saying it happens.
It just happens, bitch. We just get pregnant.
No. What I'm saying is it happens where you're in the moment. You don't use a condom. Whatever. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. It shouldn't. I'm all for protection. If you want to not be pregnant, then you should wrap it up. Also, STDs and whatnot. This is not a PSA. I'm just saying.
We've had enough of them tonight.
And if you want to talk about
also,
LGBT,
make sure you guys check out ABC's Resurrection.
Oh my God! But honestly, girl, don't lie about it.
This is my thing, okay? If I was in her situation, okay, and I found out I was pregnant, first of all, I'd be like, oh my God. I'd be freaking out, probably crying for the past 2 days because I just don't know what I would have done.
Wait, Nicollette, you would honestly, what was that thing you would do if you were pregnant? What was that you
what
just
did
said?
I just do? Oh my God.
That is not what Nicollette would do.
Mirror selfies. Can you see my baby bump?
Oh, hell no, girl. I would not be putting my baby bump on.
Nicollette does the same thing whenever she finds it.
I know.
Jesse.
Actually, he would be the first person I would call, but I would not go to the club. I would not be at the club hey.
Hold up. Wait. Brian, you were there.
In the bed, just.
Hold up. Pause. Brian, you were there. Why did Lauren go to the club?
I mean, she was trying to celebrate her last weekend. You know what I mean? And see what San Francisco had to offer.
I mean, I feel that.
Right?
I do understand that to a point because it's like you're gonna have a baby.
She was trying to go out with Corey. She wanted some type of support. She wanted to take her mind off of it too, you know. But she wasn't out there playing the field.
I don't blame her for going to the club. Honestly, I can't even say that I wouldn't do that. But what I will say is,
but you have to think you're on television.
I know. But what I will say is, what I wouldn't do is waste my time fighting with Corey because honey, you have bigger things to deal with. Like, if Cory's doing his thing, I would have been like, that is so annoying, but I'm out to have fun. I'm going to go do my thing because I have a baby growing inside me. I don't care now.
And it's like, girl, you're not going to win. Like, you really had sex with somebody else, like, and you got pregnant by him, and, like, obviously Cory's hurt by it. Like, he's not going to, like, take your side and be like, okay, that is totally fine. Like, he's obviously going to be hurt at first. Like,
I agree.
It's okay, girl.
It's
like,
good, girl.
I know it's not my kid.
No, I agree, but I don't think he handled the situation very well, and I do really, because it sounds like I do really feel for her. I feel awful.
I feel bad.
She's in a situation she did not want to be in, and that sucks. And I think that he did not handle himself as well as he could. That being said, I'm with you. It's not like he was going to be like, is this my baby?
I'm glad. I want to hear what you're going to say.
What is this?
It's free range. It's like, you know, she did her thing before the show. He was doing his thing before the show. She was unexpected. He can continue to do his thing. It's not like they made it official on the show.
True.
No,
So,
absolutely. I agree with that. I
You know
don't
what I
think he
mean?
shouldn't have been talking to anybody else at the club. I think that he shouldn't have said to her the things he said, like being all mad, especially
Called her a
when
bitch.
called her a bitch and all those things. She's pregnant, and she like pushes him, and he like kind of gets in her face a little bit, like she is pregnant.
But then again, if he would have got somebody pregnant, she would have been doing the same
No,
exact thing.
he
I
did.
sure the hell would have. But you got another bitch pregnant? Like, okay, where we starting? Let us pop
And
off.
we
You know
fi-
what I'm
But
saying?
that happened
No,
though.
but
What's
we
going
found
on?
out.
You
Yes.
trash,
No,
you
hold
think,
up.
you know what
We
I'm
found
saying?
out that she did get
I'm just saying. He
some
faked
girl faked a pregnancy with him, but we don't know if for the first half a day Lauren was up in his face like, "Bitch, you got who pregnant?"
No. Corey would have said that. Corey would have said that in his direct to camera. He
That
says,
girl,
"Listen,
it could've been
he says she stood by me from day one. She really stood by me, and once he finally figured it out, and yeah, okay, sometimes it takes people a little bit of time to figure it out. He was there for her, and I appreciate that. But it's because she was standing by him."
I'm not gonna lie, Cory kind of has a tendency to just hold things in and they explode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Explosion.
And me, I don't know. As soon as it hits me, I'm ready to go right then and there.
As far as what? So if that situation was reversed,
You see me when I come in the house.
I can't even imagine if that was reversed. Like,
You're saying if Corey got his girl pregnant?
I wouldn't
Well,
bless
I
that
mean, we're
upon.
not
I wouldn't
dead.
bless that upon
Yeah.
Corey's
There
life.
would be no waiting.
I wouldn't bless that upon anyone in that house's life.
there'd be no time. That's why Lo got pregnant.
I know.
We didn't need that happening.
I do feel bad though. But do you know the situation with her? Was she like dating this guy that she got her pregnant, or was it random, or you don't know really what it was?
Yeah, I think it's a guy that she was dating back home.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's a little better than
right.
I guess.
A one night stand type of situation.
All right, so Lauren, yada yada, she stood by his side. We'll go with that.
Yada yada, pregnant, yada yada.
We'll come back to
Didn't take
them.
the blame, but
Moving
yada,
on,
yada.
Ashley has
Check.
we find out Ashley has a full-time job, and Arielle loves living with Ashley. And they get into this fight because of this whole dressing like a boy thing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make sense to me, so I'm glad they made friends up the next day.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, Ashley obviously likes girls, so obviously she wants to feel like she's with this, like, feminine girl. But, like, if that's what you wanted, then why are you dating Arielle? Because Arielle has
But
this,
Ashley's
like,
saying that she
stud
never
type
dressed
of, like,
like
feel.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this, you know, boyish type of feel, which is not a bad look for her, you know what I'm saying?
But Ashley is saying that she's never seen this side of Arielle.
I wouldn't.
Of
I don't
Arielle.
know what. Yeah, I don't know then.
Honestly, though, I think that it's the same exact thing that or with a little different spin, but that we saw with you. Because when you were talking, Jenny's like, oh, if you're feeling a little embarrassed, I feel like that was going on here with Ashley, the way she was looking at Arielle. And I kind of could see what you were just saying, Jesse. If it's true that this isn't how Arielle used to dress, then it could be off-putting. But if that isn't true, because Arielle didn't seem to think that was true. She was like, look at my closet, all this stuff. I've always had this, and
Right.
I've always dressed like this. I think if you're going to be with somebody, you have to just love and respect them for who they are. And there can be things that you want to be different, but how somebody dresses, like, do you really give an F?
Right.
I don't
like,
know.
If you want me to wear dresses every day, well then bye. Like, I mean, you're not gonna catch me in a dress every day.
Exactly. Then I'm the
I'll
wrong girl
bet
for
you
you.
don't even be wearing
being
dresses
sexy.
every day.
I know I sure the fuck
Not
don't, but
you,
if I,
Ashley.
Ashley was just throwing a tiff that night, man.
Thought
It
you was
was
coming
nothing
for me.
big. Like, Ashley used to do the same thing when she was a little girl, you know, the backwards cap and all the above.
Yeah.
So that night it was just a tiff. You know, you get out to the
You're
club
drunk.
and you're drinking, you start throwing
Something
words
that
around.
irritates.
It's like, I don't want you to dress this way tonight because we're going to a club where, you know, we can dress normal or whatever, or like a girl or something.
Oh, it was a lesbian club too, wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Was it that night?
No, it was a straight club.
Yeah, it was a straight club.
The more
so she wanted to feel more like,
The more interesting part of the story to me, though, was the whole online internet trans thing, you know? I thought that was really weird. First of all, I think that Arielle's gorgeous and feminine looking, and
she's a model.
Don't really know what people were talking about.
And Jamie made the best comment when she said,
you could wear
a trash bag and still look beat.
Absolutely. And second of all, I thought it was weird that she was so taken aback, so concerned about it. Not weird in a bad way, but I felt bad for her. She seemed, usually things just brush right off her. We haven't really seen her fight with anybody or have anything go wrong, and this seemed to really get to her.
Well, I'd understand. I mean, if someone was like telling me I was transgender, I'd be like, what the hell? Like,
I mean,
obviously,
every day
like,
someone's
someone's saying that. Like,
you got
no,
a dick,
I
you
am
got
a
a dick.
woman.
No, I get
Do
it
you
too.
want to see my pussy?
That's like, I never got on Maury Povich when they would do like the 10 drag queens, and then all of a sudden you had to pick who was a man, who was a woman, and everyone would be like, that's a man, that's a man. It really was a woman. Like, what kind of self-esteem do these girls have after that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel
Picking
you
them apart.
Like,
really?
yeah.
I never saw that. Shit, we gotta get that in here.
Are you serious?
That's how I felt tonight, though, when we saw him. I'm like, that is a man.
Oh, Kingdom?
Was that his name? Kingston?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't believe. I was like, dang.
I mean, that's a complete transformation right there.
That is
a really good
100%.
one. You know, he came out of the womb a man. He just didn't have the physical parts.
Yeah, he must feel great now, though.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask a question?
Huh?
Were you gonna ask a question?
What I was gonna go over was I can't remember what it was.
Okay, what were we talking
we'll just
about?
move on.
If it comes back,
well,
just
all right. My thing with Kingston is that whole situation. Well, tell us about that, because that's something that all the other guys were kind of like, this is a new, like, we've never seen this. This has never been presented to us before.
Ignorant.
You know, and you said, you know, this is something that I kind of believe, you know, you're born with it. Where did you get that mindset from? Because you're, you know, like Cory, you came from, you know, the rest, and the other guys, you came from a small town. Where did your mindset come for that?
My mindset came from, I just had been interested in science my whole life, so I think of the depth of it. Like, what was the process you had to go through in order to change your body so you identify with who you feel like you are? You know, I've always been into nutrition, so changing my body was something I always knew about.
And learning about the chemicals and...
Yeah, learning about different amino acids and exercise, nutrition combinations so I can complement one another and I'm getting the best results. It wasn't easy when I first started, so I had to actually get in the books and find my way through it and experience through mentorship. I had a lot of mentors, had a lot of help along the way, so I call myself an expert within the field, so I had a lot to do with the things that I was already interested in. I like physics and science and engineering, so, you know, chemistry. You've seen the girl that I kissed on tonight's show. She was a chemical engineer, so a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, teach me something, you know?
Right.
She spoke a couple
Teach me how we can chemically make our tongues
Oh my God.
touch.
Right.
I think it's
Where's
cool,
our
though.
chemistry at?
It's cool though to see.
That would have been an epic line. I wish that
He should have used that. But I think it's nice to see an entire cast this season of people who are really accepting, because usually we
That's
get
really
somebody
cool.
that's
The
like
one douche.
stuck in 1924, and I'm like, get out of here.
And he's usually from Boston.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before.
I know, and I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, man, you're shitting on my hometown, like, and it's just the worst. And you guys all were like, the only people who didn't know what was going on. They video chatted in or whatever that's called, the director cameras in that booth.
Yeah.
They were like, listen, we have no problem with it. We just feel a little ignorant, and that's fine to be ignorant and to acknowledge you're ignorant. Nobody was saying like, oh, we don't like this.
Right.
So I really appreciated that the season was so open.
Honestly, this brings me back to the point that we were talking about earlier, Arielle, and the way that she dresses. And people calling her transgender while she's on the show. We actually had to find out what was leaked about us on the show on like sites like Vevmo and whatever else.
Wow.
So we didn't know what people were saying about us. And when people were talking about her being a transgender, she doesn't completely identify with that. You know, she is her own,
Gender.
she identified, she's her own person. She doesn't want to quite take it to that point.
Right.
But she likes wearing boys' clothes. And she felt like, hey, Ashley, support me on how I'm feeling tonight, baby.
Oh, totally.
And you know, I meant Arielle for that, because she's doing her. She's being herself.
Right.
And she's amazing.
Okay. And so it was hard that she had to deal with that. And it was even more hard when Ashley was like coming at her about like the boy clothes. It kind of probably even like stemmed more of like a irritation because she's like, all this shit.
Yeah, because all the stuff's going on at once,
Right.
like whirlwind. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I think Kingston came in and we had to spread light on the issue so we can open up Arielle's world a little bit.
That's
with,
good.
You know, how much freedom she's going to get with this subject because people are going to be curious about it.
Do you feel like you know your roommates more when they have their friends come on the show? Like, did you feel like that gave you insight into Arielle's life a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. She would hold these group meetings for people to network with one another that are in different fields. And
Really?
While you guys were in the real world?
Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to show it, but it would help us out. You know, Jay, he got a couple contacts. He has the watch business.
Yeah.
That's the
You
kind of
know,
stuff that's
work-
so cool that they don't show us. I don't understand. Like, I would love to see that.
Well, because a lot of people like the drama and, you know, ratings and all
Yeah, I
that.
get it, but I'm really interested in the business aspect of it. It's really cool when you get all these people from different parts of the country and all different backgrounds,
You should
seeing
start
how
a
they
new
interact.
Real World.
The Roxy world.
The real world.
On the rocks.
real world.
On the, yeah. All right, so
That's me,
we
Life on the
got
Rocks.
to start wrapping up. So I'm going to throw out these topics to you guys and let's
Okay.
discuss them. So first, Cory crying to his grandmother.
was a cute
about the whole Lauren
situation.
situation. Now it looked like he hung up on his grandma.
But we find out he didn't, right?
No, he wouldn't do that to his grandma. That's
Right.
that's his mom.
She
you
was
know,
the
pretty
key-
much. That, like,
She was so cute.
that's
She's like,
family.
oh, my honey,
Yeah.
I love you too.
She reminded me
Like,
of Grammy. I love her. She was so cute.
Hey, Grandma. Love you.
Hey, Grandma.
You know, looked like he was so in the moment. He only cared about himself. He cares about everyone. He's the one
Yeah.
trying to level everything out and balance.
You think he's a good
everything.
dude? You think he's a good
Oh
dude?
yeah, I think Cory's a good dude. The only thing between us is, hey man, you mess with my ex-girl, bro. Like that
Right.
ain't gonna ever. That's not gonna ever be let go.
Right.
Was
Yeah.
he respectful to a certain point at one point when he kind of realized, like, yo, I get what they're doing? Like, because tonight he made the joke, like, this motherfucker's over here doing damn posing. She's over there making castles. Like, they're perfect for each
I
other.
like it. I really honestly like that kind of
That
stuff
was really
because
cute
it
comment.
identifies with how we are different and what's unique about our relationship and what our chemistry is about. And
But was there a
brings you
point where
into
he
our
became
world.
respectful at a point like, yo, dog, like, I understand. Like, you know, you guys had that little
There might be some
conversation.
ignorance to that, just like he was with Kingston. And, you know, he's opened his mind to it. Maybe he might not be 100% accepting of it. That's not his lifestyle. But, you know, you become accepting of the people that you're living with for respect purposes.
Right.
I think one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't want to give me and Jenny respect sometimes because we were so off and on, they didn't know where we stood.
Right.
And it became confusing politically for them because everybody was hungry for camera attention at one point or another and finding out how close they were with this person so that way they're not getting the shitty end of the stick with this person, you know, throwing them under the bus in the interviews because you don't know what happens in the interviews.
Right.
It's one of the most psychologically screwing
It's a mind fuck.
moments in the game. It's like because that's what it becomes. It's pretty much a game to me.
Do producers pull you guys in one at a time, or is it like they would they do something in the sense of like taking, all right, Jenny and Cory, we're gonna take you two guys and bring you guys in to interview? Would they ever be
It was
messy
scheduled.
like that, or was
It was scheduled. We went out and we drank every night. We had bottle service at the hot
Every single night?
clubs. Pretty much. The only night we took off was Monday nights. And I remember my interview would be at like 10 a.m. the next morning, and I'm just like, man, I shouldn't have drank last night at all. I can't
Maybe
even.
that's why, like, like what you
producers
guys
like
say
you.
is just so real because you guys are so hungover, not giving a fuck. Like, yeah, you know, we're gonna see what happens. You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
pregnant.
I don't know. What do you want to say?
It's
I
like-
mean, we good. You know what I'm
Trying to
saying?
get my head together. What
Right.
happened? And we're talking about a week prior. You know, we're
Right,
not
so
talking
you're
about the
like-
moment. We're talking about a week prior. Like, what happened again? It's like, what
Oh,
happened
so they
last
do
night?
a week after.
Oh yeah, a week prior. We're talking about stuff a week prior.
That explains the whole Jay when Jay was getting asked about the girls, and he was like, I mean, well, he was honestly doing it because he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
But he also was just like, man, I don't know. Was that last week? Like, shit, I don't know.
Oh,
That
Jay.
shit's funny.
All right, let's get to this lesbian night. It was girl night, and
Let's
then
be honest.
the guys had boys night. So the girl, all right, now we get this scene.
Wait, so like, hold on.
And
Can
this
I
is
just
Bri-
say something real
wait,
quick?
Go ahead.
Why is Haley still here? Is that weird?
Your plane ticket was a cute. Well, no, I mean, her and Jamie were dancing behind Thomas.
Like, why is she
I
still
don't know.
here?
I think Thomas might be.
I think she's cute. I think Haley's
She was a
cute.
soldier. She
No,
was hanging
Tracy.
in there.
Yeah,
it was all
I
about
agree.
her camera time too. Who can make it to the end? Which ex can make it all the way?
I mean,
you know,
girl, you've
and
been
turn the
I
story.
like Haley.
I like Haley too.
Oh, well, okay. That makes two.
I got
of
love
one
for the
of
whole
me.
family. I got to, you know.
I'm sorry, Nicollette, you want to go at it?
Yeah.
You can't not.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Whether they hate on me or not, I'm going to support you because it's going to take me somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Well, I don't know if that's why you should support somebody, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, you got to surround yourself by positive people,
I was just
right?
saying because I'm just like, girl, why are you still here? Like,
Well, girl, y'all wasn't on the Real World, but you were. And at the end of the day, no matter how much bullshit any of them have done to you or even continue on Twitter or whatever it takes, that's your dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Like, no one else will ever be able to understand that feeling. Even from other seasons, won't be able to get that.
It's like growing up in a family. If you're Italian, look at their families, like, la, 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 back and forth, talking shit on each other all the time. And that's how my family was, too. Like, I'm mixed. Like, a lot of my family's black. And me and my dad and my cousins, we're roasting each other all day long. It's
Wait,
like,
what's your ethnicity?
you better hold your... I am black, Swedish, and Hispanic.
No, but it's cool what you're saying because, like, you can say all the shit to your family members, but then you come on the show and you won't say one bad thing about any of these people. And that's how it is in families. You know, you talk crap about the family, but if anybody else wants to say something bad, you stand up for them. So
And I wasn't
I appreciate
even
that.
saying
I like that.
anything bad, first of all. I just said, why is she still here? Why is she still
Anyways,
here?
moving on.
I don't
so
know.
Brian, this was a hilarious scene. So Jenny's getting ready to go to the club, and Brian, you're sitting there like, so you can dance with any guys? What's going on? So what kind of a club are you guys gonna go to? You're going to a lesbian club? You're gonna dance with any lesbians?
That was a scary moment right there.
What? Why? What's going through your mind? The Cory thing's going through your mind still. Now, Jenny, you know, dancing with girls is going through your mind. You, like, where does that insecurity come from? You guys have been together.
Well, I mean, they've been together on and off. Hell, yeah, I would be like, what are you going to do tonight?
I get that, but you have
our
just overcome that
relationship-
she slept with the man in the house.
Right.
You've overcome that now.
I'm trying to make amends with that.
Here we are.
I know there has to be some kind of storyline where it's like, yeah, boy, you got yours too while you're in the house. You know, you didn't come into this place just getting thrown on the bed like that. And she's hanging out with this dude and you don't get none of yours. So I'm thinking of I'm plotting a plan. I'm plotting a strategy, you know, master plan, a master plan.
Well, then why wouldn't you say to her then, when you guys talk and you're like, what are you going to do? Why wouldn't you say, listen, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have boy time tonight. And when she says, are you going to grind with any girl, say, yes.
Because Jenny would be like, the same thing he would do if Jenny was like, I'm going to dance with some boys.
It was kind of instigated, you know. In the interviews, they're looking for stuff like that. It's like, so how do you feel about Cory and Jenny right now in the house? Do you think they still are looking at each other and then put things
And you're
in
like,
my
why?
head,
What do you know?
provoking it? And I'm like, you know what? I do kind of see that. And it might not be true at all. It's just my mind playing games on me. I'm
She
like,
does walk by his room
I
in the
gotta
morning.
show the boys I'm worthy. You know what I mean? I can't just come in here and have Jenny whoosh, because she will. Trust me and believe me.
I believe it.
But that is such like a 17-year-old boy mentality.
I know.
on this.
It is a 17-year-old boy mentality, but we're men as well, and we have our ego and our pride attached to that, and we're worried about our identification within.
Okay.
So did the guys treat you differently
me in
after
such a
this?
tough spot.
I know. I'm just like that. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you this. It is a 17-year-old mentality, but why I can somewhat, in a way, kind of
what the thought
partially
record's for.
give you a pass is because I get where you felt, bitch, on national television. Like,
really
we're going to be,
yeah.
like, in your mind, because I feel like you're very dedicated to Jenny from watching you guys.
Somewhat, you know,
So-
at that point.
So for you to sit
Just
there
take
and
the
look at her, yeah, it was a compliment. We're here on your we're on your team for this one.
Thank you.
But looking at her, you know, it's kind of like we're gonna be together forever, and you on national television, because that's the first thing you said. Well, she slept with someone on television. I didn't sleep with the girl on television, but you guys did the same thing. You both slept with other people, but because she did it on television, as you said, you know, we're men, we have pride. That's the sense.
And she's not looking at the person that I slept with every day, living with them. That's a big difference. I'm looking at where my pride and ego stands every day. You know, Cory took a piece of that. Jenny took a piece of that. I need it back. I gotta, you know.
Why I'm not mad at it is because if you look at their relationship, at the end of the day, you guys are tit for tat with every little thing you guys do. I mean, even down to the sex, so like the flirting and like.
Our relationship has been like that since day one. We were always challenged with one another and competing for a certain amount of attention or a certain amount of
I feel like
respect.
if you were really trying to really hurt her, really just do, you would have fucked the girl. But you just kissed her. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
well,
like.
I mean, we haven't gotten to next week.
Well, I hope you.
What was he gonna do? Bring her home?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, in
No.
general, like the fact that that we think he just kissed her, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of showing like, okay, well, it's not full force.
I was trying to
It's
take
kinda
it to this certain limit.
But I mean, regardless, I
was trying to take it
go
to this
crazy
certain
either way.
limit with the ability to rebound. You know, so I could come back to Jenny if I wanted to and
Right.
still get respect from the guys in different ways and get close to them. Because as long as I'm close with Jenny, Cory's going to be kind of hot and bothered by that shit because he can't trust me. He doesn't know me, you know,
Right.
with everybody else in the house as well.
Okay, I have to give it to you that you own it. You own what you do, and you aren't sitting here like claiming that you're doing it for any other purpose other than to make her jealous, to go tit for tat.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really like I
At the end
can't
of the
really
day-
say much
Thank
about
you.
it because of that. So that is really cool.
That's a tough.
And Jenny didn't flirt with nobody at the lesbian club.
She did.
Yeah, she was
She
good.
kept it PG.
She played her cards right.
But can we talk about now? I mean, yes, you kissed this girl, yada yada yada, but that ain't even the point. Jay, the hell are you letting David Bowie dance on your damn lap? This is not the labyrinth, bitch. Who was that
Honey,
bitch?
that was
Jay.
not David Bowie. That was a Goonie.
Flower power, baby.
Flower power.
Got him.
She was skinny.
She was
her
twerk-
body was
twerk.
nice.
I mean, she twerked
She was
very
twerking it.
nicely.
She was.
I mean, she has to do.
She had her drinks.
I bet she gets an amazing blowjob.
Of a
I bet
butterface.
she does.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
Poor
know.
thing.
Oh my God, I can't.
And she was by all these hot girls.
On
I do have
that,
to say the girl that you hooked up with was really cute.
You got to think about how many girls are following the camera, you know,
Yeah,
and
but
the
that one you
promoter
should've
comes
let
over there.
slip.
He's like,
Okay,
I want
you
you
should've
guys
let
to
that
look
one
like you're having a
slip.
great time. So I'm going to take all these girls. You guys want some girls? Here's some girls. It's that easy, you know?
you're like, sir,
Like, what?
I don't want
It's
the
guys' night
rebound
out?
girls.
Yeah, I don't want the
Those
rebounds.
girls.
Oh my God, I can't.
All right, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, like we said, tit for tat with y'all. Next week we get Jenny kissing another dude.
Y'all love to get.
Is that what
Was that? Was
It's
it
a
another
German
dude?
dude. I think she was getting back at me because I had already told her I kissed a girl.
course.
At that.
I mean-
No. When she tells me she kisses that dude,
Oh, that's when you release it?
that's when I tell her I kissed the girl.
All right, and
Oh
so
my
then
gosh, so
you
she-
two get into a big
Actually,
fight.
I just messed that up, didn't I?
No, you're good.
No, you
So
didn't.
then next week you guys are gonna get into a big fight. We see there's a huge brawl. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm excited for
I think
next
there's
week.
a
I think
lot of
y'all.
fights next
Yeah.
week.
I
Yeah,
think
then
you
we
need to
see-
come back in next week
Yeah.
to talk about this.
Well, we see Jenna crying
know how
next
they're
week too. I mean, what is
Yeah.
this like couples horrible week?
This should have been
is
couples
Explosion.
therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna fit everything in all the material they
Oh,
have
no,
in
Yeah.
the
it'll
rest of
be
the episodes.
It'll be 2 weeks.
Because it's gonna be it's just gonna keep on getting more dramatic, honestly, and it's gonna be packed into 1 hour.
Can't wait.
Ooh, and you know we love that over here. Make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You guys can tweet us all week long. Brian, where can all of your fans follow you?
Follow me on Brian T. Williams Jr. at gmail.com.
And that's Brian
you
with an
can
I?
actually, well, email me there. You can follow me on Twitter. I just changed my Twitter, or what's it called? The
Handle.
handle, yeah. It's
Yes.
called, it's Brian T. Will Jr. Yes, that's what it is.
Brian
And
T. Will Jr.
then Facebook me is Brian T. Williams Jr. So, holla.
Keep on the lookout for some more
Alright.
fitness stuff. He got some big things
Fitness
coming up.
stuff.
You guys can hit me up at DJ Jesse J.
Me at Sensei Don't Play.
At Roxy Striar.
Until
Alright.
next week, same time, same place.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.